Yes, Prabhu, you're the host now. You can take over.
Yes. ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna. Yeah, this is the responsibility for all of us to learn, and we can see from Prabhupada also. Prabhupada is very clear, and this is the mischievous mentality living entity has. They create such philosophies, and these philosophies are there time immemorial because that mentality for the living entity are there. So, uh, so that's why they do. Okay, we'll come back to the what Prabhupada has to share with all of us. There are some very nice things Prabhupada want to share with all of us and make us understand. I'll not do much revision. I'll just take 2, 3 verses back so that we'll know the context, what is happening here. And a liberated soul realizes the absolute personality of God who is transcendental and who is manifested as a reflection even in the false ego. He is the support of material cause and he enters into everything. He is absolute one without a second and this is fulfilled. So here basically in this chapter Kapila explained what is the cause of living entity's condition, that is the false ego. Then he says how to get out of it to do devotional service. And what happens by it, he says first you realize the Paramatma. Then he says that the presence of the Supreme Lord can be realized just as sun is reflected, first reflected on the water and again reflected on the wall. So this is how you can understand. And he says the self-realized soul is thus reflected first in the threefold ego and then in the body, senses and mind. So this is explained. Um, okay. You can unmute and ask Mataji if you have a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry. Prabhuji, you gave an explanation, Balaram Shruti Prabhu's session in the last, no, Prabhuji, that it is our duty to verify the Shastra and get to know the truth. But how many devotees have this access, Prabhuji? Not everyone is that very much talented or intelligent, or they have access to Shastra, like what you said, no, Prabhuji. Many are innocent devotees, like they don't have this much intelligence to refer here and there and find the truth, no, Prabhuji. So in
No,
that case, they are supposed to, they will definitely follow the person whom they're getting attracted only, no, Prabhuji. How to
Mataji.
understand?
When the first day I joined ashram, one devotee came and told me this
Mm.
temple is very bad and
Mm.
here I'm going to Padayatra, come with me. That is the first day, first, and that is
Mm.
the person who told me to chant, and through him I came.
Mm.
First day I joined, and he said, "No, you get out of it. This is not the proper place." Now,
Mm.
now it is my responsibility. Now I have to. I was not sentimental. I said, "Okay, this better world is anyways place of problem." So I verified with another devotee.
Mm.
Said, "No, Padayatra is very difficult for you. Stay." Now,
Mm.
I didn't had any Shastra Shraddha, I didn't had anything. I know that
Mm.
I had to verify. So I, instead of being sentimental, I verified.
So
And then
verification also you hear from devotee only, no, Prabhuji. How is that
so
he is right? How will you know that, Prabhuji? Whether
now,
this person is right or that person whom you are asking is right?
now another thing what I did is because I am also reading the book. I understood okay this is a metal world is a place of difficulty. So even in temple also difficulty, outside is also difficulty. I thought okay let me stay in temple and tolerate whatever is the problem here. So because I was reading little bit you read also you get that
Mm.
you will get an understanding. I didn't had much knowledge of Shastra or anything. But
Mm.
whatever I read from Prabhupada said this metal world is a place of suffering.
Mm.
Itself was sufficient for me to accept that okay, this is a place of suffering. So what can I expect from here?
Mm.
Now,
Prabhuji, this is quite gross, Prabhuji. What example you quoted? Sometimes, no, Prabhuji, within, like, we all, you belong to some place, I belong to some place. We are all following literally what ISKCON's rules, Prabhuji. So we are all, we actually practically speaking, we all belong to the same community, but within the community, there are some difference of understanding among the devotees. No, just like Prabhuji rightly quoted, some people will start advising us to do things that is not even recommended within ISKCON. But since I don't know have access of what actually Prabhupada does, I will innocently believe, no, Prabhuji.
No, I have, that is my responsibility. Like, okay, I
Hmm.
hear class and he's speaking something, but if I am sincere, then I will also read because we are also, everybody can read. They have little understanding.
The reading, no, Prabhuji. For example, if you read Bhagavad Gita, then that in my low level of reading, then those points will be sufficient by Prabhupada. And like we don't understand what actually Prabhupada says, then we literally take the meaning, then it will be, for example, Varnashrama Dharma following. Many devotees think that Varnashrama should be followed. It's a non-negotiable limb, no, Prabhuji. They're quoting from Prabhupada's purpose only, not from anything else outside.
See, initially, see, every, even if you go to any Hare Krishna movement or you come to ISKCON or Gaudiya Math, the
Hmm.
principles are same. They don't
Hmm.
follow four regulatory principles, chant.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, I
So
agree.
there nobody
Mm,
deviates on that.
mm, mm.
Whoever is coming here, they all know this much. Okay, this,
Yes, Prabhuji.
and when he practices sincerely, like 1 2 years, and he follows and he comes to a standard and he knows, okay, this is right. After that, he has to take responsibility. Then he has to work on developing Shastra Siddha. He cannot remain. What happens is the two things. One is people remain ritualistic. He said, okay, I completed my 16 notes. Ek ghanta, I just read 1 hour Bhagavad Gita. I read it. 1 hour I had to hear some lecture. I heard it. And 1 hour I had to do some service. I did it. So my service for my devotion, my bhakti for today is complete. So if this type of
Mm,
bhakti they do, they are in a ritualistic.
mm.
For them, now it
Mm.
does not matter whether they are here, they are there. For
Yes,
them,
Prabhuji.
that means they are not very eager to understand what is the truth. They are not eager to understand to make an endeavor to go very fast and all these things. So that type of attitude is not there in that. They are not making. They are just want to remain a comfort zone. So for them, wherever they remain, they will remain like that. 20 years, 25 years, they will just end of life till that they will do the same thing only. So it's a more as a ritual. It is, they'll make advancement, not that they don't make it, but it remains in a ritual level. And then there will be another people who are ready to make some endeavor. Okay, let me understand the truth, let me go. They have to make an effort to understand. Okay, I want to read Shastras. Now Bhagavad Gita is there. Now I read Bhagavad Gita and I make some class and I make some statements. Now, you also have intelligence. You can also read Bhagavad Gita. It is your responsibility also because Krishna is speaking to you also, Bhagavad Gita. It's not only
Mm.
you are given some intelligence. You understand. At least some people who are, even they completed graduation also. That means they read so many books to complete graduation. Why can't they read one Bhagavad Gita book? It's only one book. You read, you try to understand, you hear from 2 3 people, you get an understanding. So in that way they feel, okay, this is my responsibility to take. And then if they make that endeavor, Krishna will give them sufficient intelligence. He will, in the Paramatma, he say, no, this is the right way, this go in this direction. Like I see that the people who are in other places, uh, uh, so says that they are reading Bhagavad Gita. They are in that other organization, Hare Krishna movement. Now there is some sort of feeling for some of them that maybe something is wrong, but they don't want. They want to just brush it off. They don't make an endeavor to really know why these people are separate from them. So they just want to remain in that sentimental zone. They don't want to make an effort. If they sincerely make an effort and read what Prabhupada is telling, they will definitely come here. But they don't want to make it. So then whose mistake it is?
Mm.
See, for
Their
2,
mistake.
2 3 years, okay, because everything is common only. But after that,
Mm.
4 5 years, you are still there and you are not making an effort to systematically study Bhagavatam system. Even if they hear some of the lectures from here, they hear to make their own lectures. They don't hear to understand what exactly these people are telling.
They are thoroughly convinced by their seniors, no, Prabhuji,
Not a question
that
of
we are wrong, that what we do is wrong and what they do is only right. They thoroughly convinced. So,
right. It's not question of convincing. Like okay, I am convinced for certain things, but it is Laukiki Shraddha or Balotpadita. It is not Shastra Shraddha, right?
Correct, correct,
The
correct.
Shastra Shraddha is what you have to develop.
Mm. All these things they don't know, no, Prabhuji.
What?
Everyone is ignorant public. Many people, it's not that they're not ready to accept our tattva, like they
Not.
just
They are not.
misguided only.
They are not making an endeavor to understand.
Yes, Prabhuji.
People want to be in the comfort zone. Like when I say, now after this class is over, we feel, oh, class is over. Now my things are done. Now I can do whatever I want in the day. That is the mentality. Like now my responsibility is done. Okay, I chanted my rounds. I attended Bhagavatam. Now done. For today's bhakti is over. I just have to do some offering to the Lord, do some arati, and whole day I am free. So this is what the bhakti does. They want to be say, okay, I am free for today because I did my arati to the Lord, I did boga to the Lord, I heard one class, I chanted my rounds, I am done with Lord. Then it won't work. Even
Mm.
our process is personal. Like I went and met one, I went to here we have Golden Temple, that is our Krishna movement. So I went and met the devotee. He is, and I was discussing with him. I just wanted to go and see. I said, see, you are working even okay. Now you have your authority. Are you not working to please your authority? He said, yes. So that is bhakti. A bhakti is a personal process. So you may not say that okay, he is officially guru or not, but you always have this desire to please somebody. You are pleasing your authority. Whomever is there above you want to please him. You have to work for him. So that means you are accepting, and the people who are working under you, they want to please you, and
Mm.
they are taking guidance from you anyway. You guide them, and you are also taking guidance. So now something is you formally accept somebody or you may not accept. Like there are Siksha Gurus only in that way. So
Mm.
they are not taking, but Siksha Guru, they are taking the role of Siksha Guru anyway. So
Mm.
the that is the point. Like uh, you need somebody above who can guide you and who will inspire you, and that is anyway happening. Only thing is formally you say no, no, nobody is guru, this, that. So that type of mischievous mentality is there. But otherwise, the principle cannot be changed.
Prabhuji, in one sense, Prabhuji, very practically speaking, not everyone has access to Diksha Guru also, Prabhuji. Only Siksha Guru is cultivating. Even within ISKCON, we are guided by Siksha Gurus only, Prabhuji. We meet Guru Maharaj once in a while only, no, Prabhuji. Not we are like getting direct guidance. So, what difference does it make, Prabhuji?
The difference is the we have to follow the process. Like the main difference,
Mm.
like we have because whatever you are getting, now, you are getting by the mercy of your guru only. You are getting
We should understand that.
the class of
Mhm.
Balram Shakti Prabhu. It is not happening by chance. It is your guru who is
Mm.
coming to.
They say they get by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhuji. They are telling like that.
We also agree, na. We are here because of
Mm.
Prabhupada only. But
Mhm,
why
mhm.
we need, na? See, now what happens is, if I have,
Mm.
like say now you attend Prabhuji's classes.
Yes,
Now,
Prabhuji.
and everybody knows that you attend his class and you are a student. Now
Yes.
suddenly you are going to temple and you are behaving in a particular way or you have some fight or something. And in
Mm-mm.
this, Mataji, you attend Prabhuji's class, you get so much training, how can you behave like this? So immediately
Mm-mm.
have that responsibility. Say, no, I cannot please. I'll tell, if somebody says, I'll tell to Balram Shakti Prabhu that you, you are fighting. So immediately,
Mm-mm.
no, 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 I cannot do it because now that actually is needed for us. So somebody should be there,
Oh.
yes, and say, no, this is not. That is always needed for us. Otherwise, no, we become whimsical. We become very independent minded. So that is the risk
Certainly, Prabhuji, Siksha Guru, they also have Siksha Gurus, no? Like they mentors,
they have.
Siksha Gurus.
Have
But
it.
what is the role of Diksha Guru which they are missing, Prabhuji? What we have speciality here, Prabhuji?
We have Diksha Guru is who actually helps us to connect to Parampara.
Mm.
The name of holy name he is giving to us.
Mm.
And there is no difference between Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. He is on the same level. There
Mm. Mm.
cannot say because Siksha Guru means he is almost on the level of Diksha Guru only.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So now, like now, counselors and all, they are not the Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru,
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Vacha Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. They also have all those things.
Here, just they are little guides and who are like seniors who are helping them, and
Mm.
they need somebody on that level to help them. But otherwise, what happens at the after 30, 40 years, now it becomes very difficult for them. They don't know whom to take shelter of, and
Mm.
like, if you see somebody who is like many proper disciples also, they also take help of other senior god brothers.
Mm. Mm.
Why they are taking help of other god brothers? They already have, no? Because everybody needs at that level who are at the level of guru to help them and guide them.
Mm.
And
Mm.
formal initiation makes actually one important thing of initiation is you get an ego that I belong to this person, I am his servant.
Mm.
One
Mm.
So the Diksha,
Mm.
what happens? It makes you that ego, and the person is alive. So that will make you more responsible also.
Committed. Mm.
So just the Prabhupada you give, then you don't know him, you never saw him, you never saw his lifestyle and all. You just heard. So but if you're directly in front of you, he's there like
Mm.
Gopal Krishna
Mm.
Maharaj. They saw him personally. They talked.
Mm.
Now for them it makes so much difference. Like, okay, he was there with us, he did this for us.
Mm.
So much connect with him. Even now also there are so much, and every day many months have passed. There is samadhi, na, every day chappan bhog is offered, and it's not
Mm.
planned. Everybody comes and brings the bhoga for him. So there's so much,
Mm.
and they want to
Mm.
preach this book distribution, and the book distribution is increasing. The preaching is increasing even after Maharaj,
Mm.
because
Mm.
the connection. So that is very important. The personal touch is what is, because yours is a personal religion. We need a personal touch.
Okay. Okay. No way. Thank you so much. Very much.
So we will cover something in our syllabus. Yeah, yes. These translations are these shlokas are important. It says, although a devotee appears to be merged in the five material elements, the object of metal enjoyment, the metal sense, the metal mind, and intelligence, is understood to be awake and be free from false ego. Uh, and the living entity can vividly feel his existence as a seer, but because of disappearance of the ego during the state of deep sleep, he falsely takes himself to be lost, like a man who has lost his fortune and feels distressed, thinking himself to be lost. So this is what happens for a living entity in. I checked with Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj. He says that the chitta is not there, but it is stored in the chitta of Mahavishnu. So, like, what happens is that the now all the subtle body is taken away for the living entity, and the living entity goes into the body of Mahavishnu. But the the programming of the soul is there in the chitta of Mahavishnu. So when I come out again, that program is given back to. So it is nicely stored and given back. That's why we again get another body. When by mature, so here I can vividly feel existence here, but because of the disappearance of ego during the state of he falsely takes himself to be lost, like a man who has lost his fortune and feels distress, thinking himself to be lost. So this is what happens to the living entity. Uh, what happens for the soul? Na? It sees himself in the mirror of mind, and false ego is the medium. It is seeing himself in the mirror of mind, and through the help of false ego. Without false ego, we don't have any identity, but the desire to enjoy is there, but you don't have any identity. So that makes the living entity very distant. This is actually what is explained. He falsely takes himself to be lost because of disappearance of false ego. Disappearance means like you don't have any identity. Like now, when we are standing in front of mirror, we know this is my identity. I am this. I don't have. That's such a big problem for us. I don't know who am I. Then then it's so difficult. I don't exist only. It's a very painful situation. So only in ignorance does the living entity think that he is lost. If by attachment of knowledge he comes to the real position of his eternal existence, he knows that he is not lost. An appropriate example, a person has lost a great sum of money may think that he is lost. Actually, he is not lost, only his money is lost. But due to his absorption in money or identification with the money, he thinks that he is lost. Similarly, when we falsely identify with matter as our field of activities, we think that we are lost, although actually we are not. As soon as a person is awakened to the pure knowledge of understanding that he is an eternal servitor of Lord, his own real position is revived. A living entity can never be lost. When one forgets his identity in deep sleep, he becomes absorbed in dream, and he may think himself a different person or may think himself lost, but actually his identity is intact. This concept of being lost is due to false ego, and to it continues as long as one is not awakened to the sense of his existence as an eternal servitor of Lord. The Maya of the philosopher's concept of being one with the Supreme Lord is another symptom of being lost in false ego. So this is also very important. So this is a nice point that what is explained here is when one forgets his identity in deep sleep, he becomes absorbed in the dream. So now yesterday, I don't know, yeah, uh, dream came, I met somebody and something was happening. So now I'm identifying as a different. He may think as a different person or may think himself lost. But actually his identity is intact. Now this concept of being lost is due to false ego and it continues as long as one is not awakened to the sense of his existence as an eternal servitor of Lord. Only one may falsely claim that he is Supreme Lord. Actually, he is not. This is the influence of Maya. To think oneself equal to Supreme Lord or to think oneself to be the Supreme Lord himself is also due to false. And when, by mature understanding, one can realize his individuality, then the situation he accepts under false ego becomes manifest to him. So, now see, it's very clear. If somebody is going to Mayavad and trying to accept them, they should read the scriptures also, where it is clearly said this is wrong. The Maya of the philosopher's position is that at the ultimate issue, the individual is lost, everything becomes one. There is no distinction between the knower, the knowable, and knowledge. But by minute analysis, we can see that this is not correct. Individuality is never lost, even when one thinks that there are three different principles, namely the knower, knowledge, and knowable, and knowledge, are amalgamated or merged into one. The very concept that the three merge into one is another form of knowledge, and since the perceiver of knowledge still exists, how can one say that the knower, knowledge, and knowable has become one? And also, who perceives this knowledge still remains as an individual. Oh, such a nice concept. I don't know how many of you got what Prabhupada is telling, but what uh, uh, this is what Mayavadi says. I will try to explain this. Hopefully, I'll be able to explain. And what he's telling is they say there is no distinction. This is Mayavadi philosophy, and how Prabhupada is refuting, you see. There is no distinction between first is the knower, then knowable, and knowledge. The knower is like we are knowing. So, and this is the object, and this is knowledge. Now he says by the minute returns we can see that this is uh, they say that ultimate issue, the individual is lost, everything becomes one, and there is no distinction between these three. So when this identity is gone, so then they say there is nothing to know, there is nothing, there is no object only, there is nothing to knowable only. Prabhupada says, even when we think that the three different principles, namely the knower, knowable, and knowledge, are amalgamated, they all became one, or merged, the very concept that the three merge into one is another form of knowledge. So this is what Prabhupada is telling. Hope you understood what is Prabhupada's logic here. Prabhupada is telling that when three of them they merge, they become one. Knower, knowable, knowledge, because there is no ego, there is nothing to know, there is nothing to, there is no object only, there is nothing to know, because there is no I. But still, there is another form of knowledge, because all became one means there is some. And since the perceiver of the knowledge still exists, how can one say that the knower, knowledge, and knowable have become one? The individual who perceives this knowledge still remains as individual. So this is so the point that I am able to do this is a proof that I am knowing it means I am separate from the object. So even if everything emerges, still there is another form of knowledge. So this is the logic properly. So all three becomes one. That means there is some other thing that is existing. That knowledge I am perceiving. That means the soul who perceives this knowledge still remains as both in the material existence and spiritual existence. The individuality continues. Only difference is in the quality of identity. In the material identity, the false ego acts, and because of false identification, one takes things to be different from what they actually are. That is the basic principles of conditioned life. Similarly, when false ego is purified, one takes everything in the right perspective. That is the state of liberation. So, false egoistic acceptance of things conditions ones, whereas acceptance of things as they are makes one liberated. This is also very, very important point. This is false acceptance of things conditions one, whereas acceptance of things as they are. As there means you are seeing the reality. Now we are not seeing the reality. What we are seeing is we are perceiving the reality based on our false ego or material conditions. Like say when I see an object, like there is a tendency to attract all the object to us. Like I want to purchase car, I want to purchase this, I want to purchase, I want people to look at me. All these things are, we have a tendency to, we are looking in an exploitative way. We want things to me. That is a tendency to become Krishna only. But we have to give that mentality and we have to see things how they are connected to Krishna. This is the main difference. I'm taking the role of Krishna when I'm acquiring things in my life. Because I want things to be with me. If I'm trying to have more followers in YouTube, that means what I'm taking a role of Krishna in one way. I'm trying to uh, I'm trying to attract people to me. I'm trying to attract things to me. I want a big house, big property. You're trying to attract towards you, but we should not try to attract ourselves. We want Krishna to be. We want uh, things towards Krishna, not for ourselves. False egotic acceptance of things condition. So this false ego makes we but when we see okay everything belongs to Krishna, I have to just serve him, that is a liberated state. The example given in the previous verse is applicable here. Due to absorption of one's identity in his money, when the money is lost, he thinks that he is lost. But actually is not identical with the money, nor does the money belongs to him. And the actual situation is revealed, he understands that the money does not belong to any individual person or living entity, nor it is produced by man. Ultimately, the money is the property of the Supreme Lord, and there is no question of being lost. But as long as one falsely thinks I am the enjoyer or I am the Lord, this concept of life continues and one remains conditioned. As soon as this false ego is eliminated and is liberated, as confirmed in Bhagavatam, situation in one's real constitutional function is called mukti or liberation. We'll just take one verse. Sri Devati inquired, my dear Brahmana, does material nature ever gives release to the spirit soul since one is attracted to the other eternally? How is this separation possible? So Devati, the mother of Kapila, here asks her first enquiry. Although one may understand that spirit, soul, and matter are different, their actual separation is not possible either by philosophical speculation or by proper understanding. The spirit soul is the marginal potency of Supreme Lord. The matter is the eternal potency of the Lord. The two eternal potencies are somehow or other being combined, and since it is so difficult to separate one from the other, how is it possible for the individual souls to become liberated? By practical experience, one can see that when the soul is separated from the body has no real existence. And when the body is separated from the soul, one cannot perceive the existence of soul. As long as soul and body is combined, one can understand that there is life. But when they are separate, there is no material existence of the body or the soul. This question asked by Devati of Kapil is more or less impelled by the philosophy of voidism, and voidism says that the consciousness is a product of combination of matter, and that as soon as the consciousness is gone, the metal combination dissolves, and there is ultimately nothing but voidism. This absence of consciousness is called nirvana in Maya, the philosophy. Okay, thank you very much. Any questions, comments? Yes, Mataji, you have some question.
Reshna Prabhuji, just now Prabhupada explained the knowledge, knower, and the knowable. All three are same. If it is same, then who will perceive like that? You ask. I mean, Prabhupada asked Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, in that case, what is Sayuji Mukti, Prabhuji?
In Sahaja also individuality remains, Mataji.
Individuality, Prabhuji, but actually they will be just, they don't involve in any action, no, Prabhuji. They just give up everything and they will be merging in Brahman, like that only we understand. How to understand that only I want to know, Prabhuji. What will be the state of a Sayuji Mukta?
Because
What?
what happens na there, the ego, they don't have any ego there. That's why the
Hmm. Hmm.
attention is proportionate to ego. So if you are,
Hmm.
like say now you are thinking you are a mother, then you will act as a mother. You
Hmm. Hmm.
thinking you are a father, you will act as a father. You will not act as.
Hmm.
So your
Hmm.
ego is actually what makes you act.
Hmm.
I don't have an ego, then where is a question of uh, when is a question of us making that and making an action? Because I am
Hmm.
thinking I am preacher, I give class. If I think I am a
Hmm.
teacher, I do worship. So what
Hmm.
is more important is the identity. So when they go, they want to give up that ego. So when they give up, they
Hmm.
enter someone. So no identity. But if I
Hmm.
identify myself as servant of Krishna, when I go to spiritual world, I know I am servant of
I
Krishna.
will
What
do service. Let that those two false ego, true ego activities I understand, Prabhuji. I cannot still now understand what will be the mentality of people in Sayuja Mukti because they don't have any ego, whether false ego or true ego.
no mentality only because there is no mind for them.
Hmm.
It is just
Hmm.
no
They
mentality.
just because a Jiva is a particle of consciousness only, no Prabhuji. Anywhere he goes, he definitely has some consciousness, no Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So consciousness will be there with the Jiva, no Prabhuji, even if we merging in that is called individuality.
He's a conscious, but there is no ego. You don't identify anything. Ego is
Oh. So he don't, there is no feeling, nothing there, Prabhuji, inside you.
no.
But how is that we say that Brahma Buddha Prasannatma, like they are very happy, then what is the bliss he is, how will he enjoy his bliss, Prabhuji, in that Sayuja Mukti?
Being with the soul only, you enjoy the bliss. Just being
Oh,
itself, you enjoy the bliss.
within the soul itself, I'll have my own bliss.
Just being with the soul.
Oh, that Sachidananda Vigraha, Sachidananda. Soul will be
Just being,
Sachidananda, Prabhuji.
normally also we sit very calmly, no? We experience some peace.
Oh,
To deep sleep state, you experience some peace. Because being
oh.
soul itself is blissful. Just
Mm.
oneself.
And Prabhuji, in Bhagavad Bhagavatam, we see Gopakumar says Lord Shiva. Some people come and preach in Brahma Jyoti also, no, Prabhuji. So these people,
To
these
come and do
souls can listen, Prabhuji.
They come and do kirtan, they don't preach.
Okay, Prabhuji, but there is a chance that they can get attracted and elevate also, no, Prabhuji. There is always a chance.
Yeah.
So they will have all those conscious, they can hear all those things happen for them, Prabhuji.
It is in a certain level because the soul will always have all these things in a certain level. So it is possible like that.
It is possible. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Because we will not understand, means we cannot understand how, but the soul has all the abilities because of which it manifests. And then it gets a subtle body and then gross body. But it is there for the soul also. In the spiritual world, everything is there for the soul, all the senses, mind, intelligence. But it is all much more subtle. I am also not what senses, how the senses are there and how they get attracted. I also did not hear. I am also not sure, but there will be something. Otherwise, why they will do come and do kirtan if it is not there? Because there is something in the soul that say they are doing coming and doing kirtan so that they get. Okay. Um,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm sorry, I muted Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
they are
So
doing
definitely there is something which we cannot understand now
no,
in
no,
our
the fact
maturity
that
level.
they are doing kirtan is that means they should have something. That is a proof.
Yes, Prabhuji. That is what I wanted to know, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why so much of even this direct process is very rarely people choose, Prabhuji. Those things, many people are aspiring for only liberation of this Raja Yoga Dhyana. Many meditation centers, even right now in Kali Yuga, many people are aspiring for liberation of Prabhuji.
Yeah, there is aspiration for liberation, but there is no work for liberation. They'll do meditation as soon as they wake up, they drink a cup of coffee and do meditation. That is not meditation only. Work
Hmm.
like that. If you want to meditate, you have to first do Nishkam Karma Yoga, then take sannyas or go to Himalayas, then do meditation, then you will get liberation. You will not get liberation because you are sitting at home and doing some meditation. First thing is
But
to qualify yourself for meditation, you have to do Nishkam Karma Yoga.
that at least they teach in Prabhuji. I know a few people from here
Yes, they don't
in
do anything.
our
They're attached to their prop.
there is Brahma Kumaris, Raja Yoga Dhyana, many things people say that you can very much stay in household life and do all those things.
Drinking tea, coffee, you are staying at home with mobile, you are staying with family and all. Where is the question of
Mm.
meditation?
Mm.
First is you have to get free from all the sanskaras. You should practice Nishkam Karma Yoga thoroughly to get free from it, to get qualified to meditation. They are not qualified to
Mm.
meditation. They are doing some gymnastics. Some here, there's some
Yeah,
people just to
true,
some sattva to enjoy Muslim before. That is not
true.
even they're not qualified for even meditation. And that is not meditation. That is mockery of meditation.
Understood. Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.